Hi, it's Deb with Free from Food Addiction and Freedom Embodied Live. And I want to help you today really get some clarity around where you're at in terms of your readiness to really get free from the food obsession and from the food addiction. Because I was just speaking with a woman yesterday, and bless her heart, she was really willing to get honest that she's just beginning this exploration and she doesn't even know what she doesn't know. So it almost feels like too much for her to fully dive into, yes, I'm ready to get free, because she's really in a different phase. And so, what I wanted to do in today's video is I wanted to share the three phases of change, the three phases of being ready, so that you can start to identify really where you are. And I'll share based on each phase what you really want to be, focusing on at this point. And hopefully that will help you get out of some of the blame and the shame, and really just zero in on what it is that you need to be focusing on right now, so that you are making those tiny little incremental steps that are taking you one step at a time towards that path of freedom. And before we talk about that, let me just pause for a moment and really go into, what does freedom from food or food addiction or food obsession even mean? Because I think that that's even something that women need to really understand for themselves first. Because so many of us really associate, okay, being free from food means, weighing a certain amount, or it means, eating right, or it means like loving my body, or it means like we kind of don't know. We haven't really spent time with it. And just because I have spent time with it, and I've been spending time with women almost a decade around this stuff, and really, really hearing from them and really watching what happens for them on the other side of getting free, is that freedom, what freedom does is so much more than helping you to be intuitively guided by what to eat or having that healthy relationship with food. It is that. It's having a healthy relationship with food. It's going from the obsession to the intuitive guidance. It's really feeling what feels good in your body, and not being in this constant always thinking about food and what can I have and what can't I have and what should I eat and what shouldn't I eat and what should I eat tomorrow and what should I eat on Friday. And it's really having a lot more inner trust around your own relationship with food, so that it doesn't occupy so much mental space and so much energy, and so that you can go on and do the things that you really want to do and be present in your life and connect with the people you want to connect with and help the people that you want to help. So there is absolutely, that's a huge part of like really what freedom from food addiction or food obsession is. But it's so much more than that too. And this is why it's, what I love showing women is really the framework for how to do life without using food to cope with it, so that life becomes lighter, so that you are being more authentic, you're speaking up, you're just being you, you feel more comfortable in your own skin, you feel more confident. And it's not that like external confident bravado walking around. You just feel deeply connected to you, in touch with you. And so from that place, you're able to act authentically confident. You feel more grounded in who you are. And from that place, it allows you to really connect in with your purpose. And then from there, you can help more people. And so freedom is really a much larger vision than just your relationship with food. It really, when that piece frees up, you start to notice all these other amazing things that weren't available to you before. So just to give you a sense of what we're talking about when we're talking about freedom, and the way that I speak about it is, it's really embodied freedom. That's what I'm talking about. That description of feeling lighter and being authentic and being comfortable in your own skin, being connected to yourself and the people around you, being genuine having that genuine confidence, all that is being embodied with your freedom. And that's really what we're talking about. So when we're talking about what phase are you at and really being ready to have that, the first phase is what I call the information phase. This is where somebody might just be the very, very beginning stages of their journey. Maybe they're just starting to get honest about, gosh, I'm noticing these patterns, and I'm noticing that I'm eating when I'm not hungry, or I'm eating, kind of emotionally, or I'm just noticing, or when I'm just, bored, or I'm just noticing this thing with food. I'm noticing myself maybe gaining weight, and they're still kind of needing to just gather information. This person really needs to understand, like, what is this? I don't really know what I don't know. I need to understand more. And so they are in an information phase, and what I find is really helpful at that phase is to watch videos, read blogs, be involved in a community. Maybe it's a meetup group, maybe it's a Facebook group. Be involved in a community where you can just start to be around the conversation and just start to listen for, hey, does this sound like me? Does this feel like me? Have I done that? Have I thought that way? Have I felt that way? And just start to take that in. And one thing that's really important at this phase is to real well at all the phases, and this is a huge thing that I teach my clients and talk and remind them about a lot, is to really practice curiosity versus like judgment and condemnation. So this is just a time to get curious and just notice, okay, well, I'm seeing this and I'm seeing this. And it was really, really helpful to just get involved at that kind of that foundational level of, okay, well, let me join this Facebook group. Let me read this article. Let me subscribe to this YouTube link. Let me join this meetup. Let me come and listen to a talk, where you can just start to field and filter and see what feels true and congruent, and kind of like, oh yeah, that feels like something that I want to pursue a little bit more. I'm understanding more. So that's the information phase. The next phase is the gestation phase. So gestation phase, this person, they know what's going on, or they have a sense, like it's been going on long enough and they have enough of a sense that there's something here, but they've got a lot of fear coming up, a lot of stories that they're telling themselves, and I'll talk about those in a little bit. And so they need to go really, really slowly. Maybe they are afraid to feel vulnerable. Maybe they're afraid to feel out of control. Maybe they're just really thinking that they need to figure this out on their own, and they're still feeling a little bit of that judgment, and they don't want to be judged by others. Whatever is going on there, this person also would really, really benefit, again, from being part of a group or part of a community where they can see the successes happening from other people. They can connect into that stuff, and they can start to really flesh out what is possible for them. And it's really, really valuable if this person has an opportunity to really express the fears that are coming up for them instead of just chewing on them. So anytime this person can get into a live environment, a live talk, a live workshop, post on a Facebook group or in a meetup group, or some other kind of supportive group that feels really, really nurturing for you, that's really important here. Any kind of one-on-one conversations that feel supportive. What I would recommend at all the stages is that when you are in that information stage, or the gestation phase, or the final one that we'll speak about in a moment, is really getting with people who get you in this space. Like, I have many girlfriends who I just absolutely love. But when it comes to the nuances, like the weird stuff that I've done with food, the weird thoughts that I've had, like the embarrassing things, and it's like, I need to talk to one of my people. I need to talk to a woman who gets me, who totally has been where I've been, who's done what I've done, and who's actually gotten to the other side, or who's gotten free from that, and who can really, illuminate like what worked for her. I need to see those things. So the gestation phase, I would say going slowly is really, really going to be important, because there's a part of this person that is really, really afraid and needs to feel like they can do this kind of in a steady pace, and anything that happens too fast will feel overwhelming and will take them back into their old patterns. And so it's really important, if you're in that phase, if you're like, okay, I know I want to do something, but I am scared as all heck, and I don't know, I don't really know what to do. And you might have some fear coming up. I would say don't make yourself wrong for that. Just know that that is an absolute phase, and really sync up with the community, or the person, or the environment, where you feel like you can start to ease into that path in a really loving, supportive way that's going to hold you in a container where you're not going to be shamed, and you're not going to be judged, and you're not going to be made wrong, and you can really do it at the pace that's going to work for you. So that's the gestation phase. The final phase is the transformation phase. And this is really where I see a lot of my clients showing up, is that they are sick and tired of being sick and tired. So this person has spent most of their life, or as long as they can remember, really, really struggling with their relationship with food, with their relationship with their body, with their relationship with obsession, and always thinking about food. They've been on practically every diet. They've tried everything out there. They might have done the Weight Watchers, or the Jenny Craigs, or the 12 steps, or just bunches of things. And they have a lot of information. They don't need more information, but they do need to understand why they're getting stuck after everything that they know. Because the pattern there is this, like, I know what to do, and I keep on sabotaging. I know I shouldn't have that, and I keep on going back to it. And why am I doing these things? And so they need some clarity. But this person is ready. They are ready. They're like, I want the clarity. I'm ready to end this obsession. I'm ready to end the self-sabotage. And I'm really, really ready to come back to my own inner sense of guidance and direction. And this is a big, big key, because oftentimes what we do when we start out on this journey is we're like, okay, I don't trust myself at all. I don't trust myself to make healthy choices. I don't know what's right for me. And we've lost so much confidence because we've made so many promises to ourselves that we haven't kept. And so we tend to feel really, really helpless. And then that makes us really look to others like, okay, well, why don't I just latch on to your diet, or your way of doing food, or your way of, living, and while there are ways to be inspired by others, it's really important to come back into, well, what is the truest, most congruent way for my body to eat, the way for me to live my life? What are those supportive tools and practices that really help me be me? Because ultimately, you're here to be your authentic you. You're not here to be somebody else. So that's what's really, really important, is a person who really wants to come home to themselves. And they want to get free because they know that they're being called to go help more people, to contribute at a bigger level, to really just live more authentically in their own lives, to be an inspiration for their families. And they feel really held back by that. And so the why, or the push, is so strong that they're like, even if I have the fear, even if that stuff is coming up, even if I even, like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh, I don't know if this is gonna work, or I don't know. They also feel out of options. They're like, I have to go on this path. I can't live in the block anymore. I can't live in the stuckness anymore. I can't live in the self-sabotage anymore. I am going crazy. I feel like I'm dying inside. That's where I had to get. I literally had to get to a place where I felt like I was dying inside. I just felt empty. I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired. I was so sick and tired of feeling empty, being obsessed, trying to control, trying to figure it out, feeling alone, that I was finally like, oh, all right, I don't know. I need help. I don't have the answers. And it's amazing what happens when we are willing to admit to ourselves that we don't know. Because it's a very vulnerable thing. Those of us who feel out of control with food, who are constantly trying to gain control, it's like, well, hang on a second. Admitting that I don't know feels out of control. I don't have control if I don't know. And that feels really, really scary. But that actually, like, if you can bring the courage to meet that moment right there and to move through that and say, but I am willing to take one tiny step forward. I am willing to just trust that there might be a more free, light, fulfilling way of doing life that I'm just not privy to right now, or I don't have access to right now. And I'm willing to have the hope in that possibility. And if that is something that you're willing to do, then everything opens up. Because just with that tiny little step of you saying, yes, I've got all the fear, but the pain of where I am, the pain can be the pain of you not living your fullest expression. The pain can be the health risks. The pain can be you not feeling connected in your relationships. The pain can be you not living your purpose. The pain can simply just be you not being connected in your own body and not knowing why you never feel okay. We have tons of reasons why we can be in enough pain that we are willing to meet the unknown and say, you know what? I don't want what I've been doing back here. And so I am ready. I am ready to pass through that threshold and take one tiny step into the rest of my life, into freedom, into lasting freedom. And that is why I call it the transformation phase, because no one can make you be ready for that. That's something that needs to come from you. But here's the really, really exciting and amazing thing, is that the very quality that's required for you to take that first step onto that path of fully committing, I want to get free. I know that it's not going to be all rainbows and butterflies. I know that I'm going to have my days of ups and downs. I know that I need support. I know that I'm going to go through some stuff, but I'm willing to go on that journey. The moment you take that step, you do what I call jumping off the diving board with my clients. I say, you know, as long as you're standing on that diving board and you're looking over to the pool, you don't have the power to be free. Because it's in taking the leap that you gain the power. And so when a woman is willing to take that leap, I know that she has what it takes to actually be free. So it's almost like a pre-qualification. Like if you're not in that phase of readiness, then that's okay. But when you are in that phase of readiness and you do step forward and say, I'm doing this, that actually is what opens you up to really truly having the freedom. So I hope that that gave you some insight, and maybe you can see yourself in any of that. If you find yourself in the information phase and you're like, okay, I'm just starting in this conversation, and like even that was a whole lot, I invite you. I have a Freedom Embodied Live Facebook group where women can just come. I upload weekly videos there. There's resources there. There's a community there. And you can just come get some tools, strategies, hear some stories, and really just kind of dip your toe in and say, okay, that feels good. If you are in the gestation phase or the transformation phase, I really invite you to consider coming to, well, two options here. There's a live event happening in San Diego, just a one-day event happening in San Diego. and it's called Freedom Embodied Live. And it's really, really going to be for women who are ready to end the obsession, who want to really stop that cycle of self-sabotage and come back to their own inner guidance. So that's what the day is all about, so that women can really get on that path to more power and ultimately gain more freedom. So that is happening. That is coming up on October 7th. If that's something that you want to do, I'm just going to post below in a link below, and you can follow that link and you can learn more about that. And if you are like, Deb, I am that last version. I am like sick and tired of being sick and tired, and I need to talk. I need to really get some clarity right now around what is going on for me. Then I'm going to add another link below, and I really invite you to just hop on a 15-minute support call with me. Let's just get some initial, I'd love to just hear where you're at and just give you some clarity on some next steps for you. It would be my absolute honor to do that. So if that is calling to you, then let's definitely hop on the phone together. I'll put that link below. And bottom line, I just really, really support you in being wherever you're at, and encourage you to not shame, blame, judge, or condemn yourself, but to actually embrace exactly where you are and know that it is so perfect. So thank you so much for taking this time out, spending it with me. I hope that it was valuable for you, and I will connect with you more next time. Bye for now. Mwah.